Under the dazzling lights of a royal gala where the clinking of glasses echoed alongside polite congratulations and knowing nods, an unexpected moment caused the entire space to freeze. Duchess Kate entered graceful, confident, and radiant in her custom-designed gown, with every eye following her every step. Yet it wasn't the extravagant dress or her elegant poise that made her the center of attention. It was the sparkling tiara on her head that caused the entire palace to fall silent for a moment. The tiara was not just any royal accessory. It was the most precious heirloom once belonging to Princess Diana, the most beloved woman in the memory of the British royal family and in the hearts of millions around the world. Diana was not only the mother of two princes, but also a symbol of compassion, courage, and the wounds that were never fully healed. For Kate to wear this tiara was not just a formal gesture, but also carried a profound message. If you find this story interesting, leave a comment with the number 1, and if not, leave a comment with the number 0. Don't forget to share the video with your friends and those around you so they can discover it too. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on more exciting videos. Now let's dive into the story together. Queen Camilla's smile, despite holding a powerful position beside King Charles, suddenly grew strained. Her eyes flickered as she caught sight of the tiara, a keepsake that carried not only material value, but also memories of a deeply controversial past. According to whispers behind closed palace doors, Camilla was said to have lost her composure. To her, that crown was a symbol of a woman whose shadow she could never escape, Diana, Charles's first wife, and her former rival in love. Was this merely a coincidence or a carefully orchestrated move, people are beginning to ask? Could Kate be sending a powerful message by choosing the tiara so closely associated with Diana on such a significant occasion? And right in front of Camilla, Kate, the woman long known for her silence and for staying above royal infighting, now seems to be steadily stepping closer to the role of future queen and winning more of the public's affection with each passing day. In the palace, where every gesture carries political weight, symbols often speak louder than words. Crowns, jewelry, even the colors of an outfit, each is carefully chosen to convey subtle messages understood only by the most discerning eyes. And in that world where every smile is measured, where every bow might serve as a statement, Kate's appearance wearing Diana's tiara could hardly be seen as mere coincidence. No one expected that the one to break the silence would be Princess Catherine. Once considered too reserved, too safe in her demeanor, Kate is now quietly shaking the foundations of the British monarchy with steady, strategic steps. In her recent appearances, she is no longer just the perfect wife standing beside Prince William. She is redefining her role, a woman of poise, purpose, and a clear message. Many believe that Kate is not simply asserting her position, she is also seeking a form of historical justice for her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana, who endured turbulent years due to Charles and Camilla's affair. Kate's fashion choices, the specific jewelry she wears at major events, no longer seem coincidental. Each one appears to be a carefully chosen symbol intricately linked to Diana's legacy, a quiet yet powerful statement that her memory remains alive and worthy of honor. The moment Kate wore the lover's knot tiara, a powerful piece once worn by Princess Diana right in front of Camilla, it was more than just an aesthetic choice. It was a wordless affirmation, a message delivered with quiet confidence and a deep understanding of royal history. Royal watchers insist this is no longer a matter of fashion, it's a meaningful strategy. Kate doesn't need to say a word. Every time she appears, every piece of jewelry she wears tells a story of continuity, of memory, and of a woman quietly redefining power within the royal family. Not through conflict, not through struggle, but through resilience, grace, and intellect. In the royal spotlight, where everything is on display but not everyone sees clearly, Kate has chosen to make her voice heard with quiet strength and commanding presence without ever speaking out loud. While Camilla continues to struggle for public sympathy, Kate is embraced effortlessly, almost unconditionally, much like Princess Diana once was. Her mere presence is enough to awaken memories the royal family may have hoped time would quietly bury. Each time Kate walks the red carpet, it's as if Diana's shadow walks with her, gentle yet defiant. And for Camilla, no matter how hard she tries, she cannot escape the past she so desperately wishes to forget. But Kate is not stopping at symbolic gestures. She is more proactive than ever in asserting her role within the royal family. From her polished media presence to launching impactful community initiatives, every move reinforces her image as a truly deserving future queen. Each step appears carefully calculated, as if sending a clear message: a new era is coming, and in that era there may be no room for a legacy as contested as Camilla's. What was once Kate's hallmark gentleness has now been replaced by a calm, resolute determination. She no longer avoids Camilla. Instead, she looks her straight in the eye, not with hostility, nor with harsh words, but with a gaze that clearly signals the shifting balance of power. On numerous occasions, Kate has quietly outshined Camilla, not through effort or rivalry, but simply by her natural confidence and grace. Remarkably, Kate has never publicly criticized Camilla, nor shown contempt nor engaged in open conflict. Yet it is precisely this silence that carries an immense weight, as it speaks volumes without uttering a single word. For Camilla, who now holds the title of queen, the threat is very real. Kate's growing influence combined with her deep connection to the public is undeniable. And for those who once loved Diana, every step Kate takes feels like a silent yet unmistakable declaration. I am here not just as a royal family member, but as the one who will restore the honor Diana never got to fully preserve. Many believe that Kate is not only strengthening Prince William's position within the royal family, but is also quietly bringing an end to Camilla's silent reign, a reign built not on complete love, but on waiting compromise and the unfinished pieces of history. Those close to the family say Kate understands deeply what Diana endured, not only from William's stories, but also through the unspoken pain in his eyes every time he speaks of his mother. So this is not just a power game. It is a journey in search of justice, a silent yet fierce battle between truth and image, a battlefield without swords or shields where every gesture and every glance carries weight, a confrontation where the victor doesn't need to raise their voice, just walk steadily and let the public feel it for themselves. Camilla, who ascended to the throne of queen not through public admiration but through time and endurance, is now under greater pressure than ever before. She understands that the crown she wears daily is becoming heavier, not because of its physical weight, but because of the expectations she cannot fulfill. Nothing weighs on her more than holding a title she knows she has never truly won in the hearts of the public. And the most painful part is that every time she appears, people don't see Camilla. They only see the shadow of someone else. Not just Diana, but Kate. A Kate who is gradually being seen as the embodiment of the justice Diana never received. A Kate who exists not through spectacle, but through calmness and dignity. She doesn't need to fight openly. She doesn't need criticism. Because in the world of symbols, silence is the most powerful voice of all. People have rallied behind her. In the eyes of the British public, Kate is no longer just a royal bride or even a future queen. She has become a living symbol of compassion, dignity, and the continuation of the legacy that Princess Diana once left behind. Diana may never have had the chance to complete her own story, but through Kate, that story is being rewritten with grace, calmness, and above all, with an inner strength that cannot be underestimated. If one day Camilla is forced to step back, it may not be because of a royal decree, but because of a far stronger force, the silent yet powerful will of the public. And Kate is the one who has awakened that force, not through loud speeches, but through the way she lives through her image and undeniable presence. When that day comes, if it ever does justice for Diana, won't arrive in the glare of scandal or heated controversy. It will come quietly, softly, like an apology whispered by time, like a discreet smile of truth restored. It will come through a woman Diana never had the chance to meet, a woman who now bears the heavy responsibility of righting historical wrongs, wearing a crown weighted not only with diamonds, but also with expectations, unhealed wounds, and the longing to be acknowledged. When that moment arrives, it may very well be the first step toward the salvation the British monarchy needs more than ever. And then the moment arrived on an evening that seemed ordinary at the royal family's biggest event of the year. Everyone expected a smooth, glamorous night with no surprises. But then Princess Catherine stepped out. No one anticipated that what would silence the entire room wasn't her gown or her usual radiance, but the crown she wore on her head, Princess Diana's favorite crown. In that very moment, the atmosphere shifted. Queen Camilla froze. The smile that had been playing on her lips slowly faded away. And according to those behind closed doors, she broke down in tears. Not because of the crown itself, but because of everything it symbolized. A quiet wave of surprise spread across the room. Conversations continued. Laughter still echoed, but something had undeniably changed. Those paying close attention sensed it. The silence carried weight. It spoke volumes without a single word being uttered. The crown had appeared before, but this time it carried a completely different meaning. It was no longer just a beautiful accessory. It was a symbol, a memory, a message. It reminded everyone of Diana, not merely a royal mother, but a deeply influential figure and icon many believe has yet to receive her due justice. That night, the crown didn't just sparkle with diamonds. It shone with longing, with remembrance, and with the silent understanding shared by all for the woman who once wore it. Not long after Queen Camilla entered. As always, she appeared polished and flawless. Her own crown sat neatly atop her head. She smiled calmly, but to those nearby, that smile seemed slightly more fragile than usual. Her steps faltered just a bit, a fleeting hesitation. Then her eyes met Catherine's. She saw that crown, Diana's crown. The shift in the atmosphere became unmistakable. Something real had just happened. At that moment, no one was thinking about fashion. No one was talking about dresses. It was a moment heavy with history. Camilla, who had claimed her position not through admiration but through time and acceptance, now faced a different reality the public had made its choice. Not through ballots, but through glances, silence, and applause that was never given. That crown revived an old story, the story of a woman once hurt by an incomplete love, now represented by another more vivid than ever. From that moment on, Camilla was no longer the center of the room. Her presence grew quiet, restrained. No one said it aloud, but everyone felt it. Diana had never truly left. And Kate, in silence, was bringing her back not with words, but through her very presence. Although the party continued outwardly as usual, wine-flowing, light conversations mingling with the classical music, a wave of anxious whispers began to spread through the palace corridors. Behind closed doors, the atmosphere grew tense. Without a word spoken, those well-versed in royal traditions could clearly sense what was unfolding. For in this palace, nothing is ever accidental. Every piece of jewelry chosen, every crown worn carries a message, silent yet sharp as a blade. Some pieces are simply beautiful, but others, like the crown worn by Princess Catherine tonight, bear the weight of memory, history, and symbolic transition. The issue isn't just who wears what. It lies in the meaning the piece conveys, what it represents, what memories it awakens, and most importantly, how it makes someone in the room feel. And on that night, the one who felt it most deeply was Queen Camilla. Catherine's choice to wear Diana's crown was not merely an aesthetic decision or a style statement. It was a declaration, a wake-up call to emotions, long-asleep memories thought to be forgotten, and perhaps a sign of something far greater regarding her true place within the royal family. In that moment, everything became breathtakingly real. No longer ceremony, no longer the spotlight, but deeply personal, intimate, and almost overwhelmingly authentic. That crown, with its sparkling diamonds and heavy history, was more than just a precious piece of jewelry. It had become a message, a vivid symbol, and more importantly, it was a message Camilla could never respond to, because the connection between that crown, Diana, the public, and the memories of a generation would never belong to her. To outsiders, it might just be a royal crown, magnificent, luxurious, timeless. But for Camilla, who was once seen as the woman who came between a fairy tale love, that crown carried a much deeper meaning. It was an unrelenting reminder of the role she was once forbidden to enter. A mirror reflecting the love and admiration she never truly received, because that love, that public devotion, would forever belong to someone else. Diana once wore that crown during the most glamorous yet heartbreaking moments of her life. Over time, it became more than just an accessory. It turned into a part of her deeply emotional personal story, carrying the sorrow, dignity, and strength of a woman who was both fragile and resilient. So when Catherine wore it again, especially at a highly publicized event, the wave of emotions it stirred was almost impossible to ignore. The crown did not just sparkle with diamonds. It shone brightly with memory, with history, and with a love that never fades for a woman who has gone but never left the hearts of the public. Diana's legacy seemed only to grow stronger with each passing year, and now it quietly yet powerfully lives on in Catherine. For some within the palace walls, that crown is like an invisible armor. Diana once wore a shield between her and the world, between her and the things she could never control. It made her noble even in her most shattered moments. And now, as Camilla sees Catherine wearing it, she may feel as if the past itself has stepped into the room uninvited and unstoppable, carrying the strength of memories never forgiven. Camilla's story has always been complicated. Even though she has become queen, her name remains inseparable from the saddest chapter of Diana and Charles's marriage. And that evening, with just a single crown that passed, was gently but inevitably recalled like a cold breeze slipping through the red velvet curtains, causing those involved to shudder. Under the glittering lights of the ballroom, the public smiled politely and engaged in light conversation, but behind closed doors, the atmosphere had completely changed. For many years, Camilla has been the target of public scrutiny. Despite becoming queen, she still faces criticism, and the shadow of Diana's legacy seems to cling to her relentlessly. When Catherine wore that iconic crown that night, it sent a silent yet powerful message: no matter how much time passes, the hearts of the public still belong to Diana. Some emotional wounds, especially those public and deep ones, never fully heal. That crown carries those memories, quietly evoking the past, yet with great power. It is not just a luxurious item, but a symbol capable of reopening pains that many thought were long buried. By royal decree, many of Queen Elizabeth's jewels were passed on to Camilla after she ascended to the throne, but the lover's not tiara. Diana's favorite and forever associated with her name was not among them. According to tradition, once a tiara is bestowed, it remains forever with its recipient. So when Catherine appeared wearing that tiara, it became an undeniable sign Camilla would never wear it. No yesterday, no today, no ever again. And that knowledge was perhaps the most painful truth for her. Not merely a beautiful accessory, that tiara serves as an emotional bridge between Catherine and the public. People don't just see a glamorous duchess, they also feel the spiritual presence of Diana, her grace, her heart, and her love. No matter how many royal jewels Camilla wears, the legacy that Diana created can never be replicated. Because Catherine isn't just carrying glamour, she is wearing a story, the story of a figure forever remembered by the public. That tiara with its sparkling diamonds not only reflects light, but also reflects a legacy, a powerful memory that has endured through the many ups and downs of royal history. It represents the silent yet potent presence of a woman who has passed on but never left the hearts of those who still remember her. If you enjoyed this story and want to learn more, don't forget to share the video, and comment your thoughts below. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on more fascinating videos. Now let's continue the story together. There remains an unanswered mystery. How did that legendary tiara ultimately end up in Catherine's hands and not Camilla's, who was originally entitled to choose it first? Could it have been Queen Elizabeth herself who passed it on as a subtle message? This choice transcends material value. It touches the very consciousness of the monarchy and the faith of the public. Perhaps this is the true showdown, not between two queens, but between the past carried through time represented by Diana and her legacy, and a future that Catherine can embrace and continue with both great potential and profound responsibility. Within the silent walls of the palace, the collection of jewelry was quietly distributed according to royal protocol. When Camilla, as queen, was granted the right to choose first, it was not a personal favor, but a strict procedure based on rank. Everyone assumed she would select the piece with the deepest sentimental value, such as the symbolic lover's knot tiara instead of a crown. However, that did not happen. Unexpectedly, that very crown was bestowed upon Duchess Catherine. Along the royal corridors, this move sparked quiet yet profound whispers. Royal watchers believed Camilla had the right to choose it, but somehow the tiara ended up with Kate. So what really happened? Sources reveal that there is a close, discreet, yet meaningful relationship between Queen Elizabeth and Catherine. Some believe the Queen made a deliberate personal decision to pass Diana and Anne's favorite tiara to Kate as a tribute to the late daughter-in-law. Others suggest that this piece had already been promised to Catherine beforehand, before Camilla had the chance to make her choice. Regardless of the facts, the outcome is undeniable. The most iconic and emotionally significant piece in the royal collection is no longer up for auction, but belongs to Catherine. And the public's reaction was immediate and intense. The moment images of Catherine wearing the tiara were made, public social media erupted with admiration. Many compared her to Diana, calling her the reflection of the late princess. Others described it as destiny. The message echoed through the crowd, "The tiara has chosen her." That moment said it all, and for Camilla, nothing could be more unsettling. After years of striving for public acceptance and affection, seeing another woman wear the piece so closely associated with Diana must have deeply wounded her. Royal experts believe that Catherine is not merely wearing the tiara, she is carrying a promise. In that radiant image, the public saw a future queen emerging. Camilla, despite holding the highest position beside the king, has gradually become overshadowed in the background. This shift is not just about jealousy, but reflects a deeper transfer of power. Camilla holds the official title, but Catherine is the one who truly holds the hearts of the public. In the royal world, love and admiration from the people carry more weight than any title. The crown on Catherine's head is not merely an accessory, it is a symbol of the transfer of power and status, causing Camilla to slowly lose her place in the public's regard. However, Camilla did not surrender without a response. At the next royal event, she appeared with confidence wearing another precious crown that had once been Queen Elizabeth's favorite, a statement that she too could represent the stability and tradition of the monarchy. She smiled gracefully for the cameras displaying her pride and power. But no matter how much she sparkled, the spotlight still didn't belong to Camilla. The attention, applause, and admiring gazes continued to focus on Catherine, the one who had quietly claimed the place Diana once held. The silent rivalry between the two women wasn't about the jewelry itself, but the deep meaning behind it. Although Camilla owned one of the most historic royal crowns, her appearance failed to make a significant impact. The media was almost silent, and social media buzzed little about the gems or the story behind them. All eyes remained fixed on Catherine, who wore Diana's iconic crown. What stayed in everyone's mind wasn't the material value, but the emotions and legacy it carried. What made things even harder for Camilla was Catherine's natural ease and grace. While Camilla struggled to establish her position and prove herself, Catherine had long lived within that story, and just a glance or a small gesture from her was enough to create a powerful connection with the public. When Catherine wore that crown, the world responded with warmth and deep emotion. In contrast, no matter how dazzling Camilla's crown was, hardly anyone noticed. The moment Camilla had hoped would mark her grand comeback only highlighted the stark difference between them. One was admired, the other beloved, an undeniable contrast in the hearts of the public between Camilla and Catherine. That's right, within the royal family, wearing a crown isn't just a moment to shine or showcase status. It carries a deep tradition and emotional power that not everyone can truly understand. These crowns aren't simply sparkling accessories, they are symbols of authority, legacy, and one's place in royal history. When the monarch personally bestows a crown on a royal woman, it's an incredibly symbolic decision marking an official and permanent recognition of her status within the monarchy. And once that crown is given, it stays with the recipient for life, meaning the door is forever closed to others like Camilla, even if she holds the title of queen consort. The strict rules about who gets to wear the crown when and under what circumstances further emphasize the formality and sacredness of royal jewels. Catherine wearing Diana's crown is not just a fashion statement, but an official entry into the royal history, a continuation that is publicly acknowledged and admired. In contrast, for Camilla, this crown represents a closed door, a symbol she cannot possess, even though she stands at the highest position in the family. The most painful thing is not the material value of the crown or the sparkle of its diamonds, but the emotional and historical connection it carries, a connection Camilla cannot have with Diana's legacy. That's why when Catherine steps out wearing Diana's crown, it is not just a personal moment for her, but a resurrection of the spirit and heritage of the late princess, making the public continuously admire and love her. No matter how high Camilla rises, no matter how many titles she holds, she can never escape the overwhelming shadow of Diana, a woman who not only left behind memories, but also became a symbol, a legacy that lives on in the hearts of both the people and the royal family. And it is this very aspect that creates a deeply emotional royal story, where symbols tell not only of power, but also of love, respect, and memories that can never fade. Every time Catherine wears that iconic crown, it becomes more than just a sparkling piece of jewelry. People don't just see the diamonds. They feel something deeper. They are reminded of Diana's gentle heart, her kindness, and the struggles she endured. When they look at Catherine, they see the echoes of those quiet strengths, almost as if they are seeing Diana again, but this time in the calmness and confident maturity that Catherine embodies. This is what makes Camilla's journey more challenging than ever. Despite securing her place beside King Charles and taking on all royal duties, she cannot erase the emotional distance the public feels between her and Catherine. That distance becomes even more apparent when Catherine wears Diana's crown, not Camilla. The crown doesn't just shine with diamonds, it stirs powerful emotions that are not tied to Camilla but to Diana, and now it seems to Catherine. It's not just a story about who will wear the crown, but also about who the people want to see wear it. That deep emotional connection cannot be created simply through effort or titles. Catherine doesn't try to win the public's heart. She naturally holds it with her calm strength, her charity work, and her grace even under pressure. She has quietly built a lasting and genuine bond with the people. And when Catherine appears with Diana's crown, the late princess's beloved piece of jewelry, it further affirms that she carries Diana's spirit within her, passing it on to a new generation. Camilla may hold the title of queen, possess official power, and own royal estates, but the deep affection of the public will always be directed towards Catherine. This is not something any royal title can buy. The crown is not just a part of tradition, it is a vivid reflection of how the world views these two women. Camilla may hold status and ceremony, but Catherine has the genuine admiration of the people. And in a monarchy where symbols and meanings matter more than ever, the quiet love from the public may be the strongest power of all. Now, as the emotional divide between Catherine and Camilla becomes increasingly apparent, a natural question arises. How did Catherine come to possess the iconic lover's knot tiara, which once belonged to Diana, when Camilla, by royal rank, had the first choice? What transpired behind the palace walls remains a mystery filled with private decisions and unexpected twists, leading to this historic moment, a story never before revealed about the royal jewelry collection that many have never seen. The lover's knot tiara is a powerful symbol of love, heartbreak, and an enduring history. First created in 1914 for Queen Mary, it was later passed down to Queen Elizabeth II. Many years later, Queen Elizabeth chose to gift it to Princess Diana as a wedding present. But that tiara was not just a simple gift, it became a part of Diana herself. Diana wore the tiara at formal events, international trips, and even during some of her most painful public appearances. Despite its grandeur and brilliance, the crown was heavy and not easy to wear, much like the complex and challenging life Diana faced within the royal family. Yet she never showed the difficulty it caused. Diana wore it with such grace that over time the tiara became more than just a piece of jewelry. It turned into a symbol of her quiet strength. According to those close to her, every time Diana wore the tiara, it was as though she was telling the world, "I am still here." Even as her marriage fell apart, she maintained her composure and dignity in front of the public, and the tiara remained there silently accompanying her through that emotionally charged journey. After Diana's tragic passing in 1997, the tiara almost disappeared from the public eye. It was carefully stored away as if it were buried alongside the immense grief of the royal family's loss. No one touched it for many years, as it held deep memories and emotions. Then in 2015, something unexpected happened. The tiara made a return, but not for Camilla, rather for Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge. The moment Catherine wore the tiara caused a quiet shock among royal observers, as if Diana had returned not in form, but through her spirit. Catherine wearing the tiara was not just a fashion statement. It awakened memories of Diana within the entire royal splendor. This emotional revival is exactly why this tiara holds such significance for Camilla. The public still holds a special admiration for Diana, and now they feel a similar warmth towards Catherine. Although Camilla has the right to choose from the valuable heirlooms of Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth, this particular tiara holds an irreplaceable place, one that will forever belong to the hearts of the people, reserved for Diana. Even when others wear different pieces, this tiara will always remain an immortal symbol, a reminder of the legacy and spirit of Princess Diana. And now the real question arises. How did the lover's knot tiara end up in Catherine's hands when Camilla was supposed to be the first in line? To understand this, we must go back and carefully examine how Queen Elizabeth II's precious jewelry collection was quietly divided, a decision that may have completely changed the way we view the women in the royal family. When Queen Elizabeth II passed away, her vast royal jewelry collection filled with crowns, brooches, tiaras, and priceless heirlooms needed to be carefully and methodically divided. But this was not a casual task, nor one based on personal preferences. According to royal experts, the entire process followed a strict set of rules based on hierarchy and roles within the royal family. As Queen Camilla had the priority to choose first and had full access to the most valuable and precious items in the collection. However, what surprised many was that Camilla did not claim the lover's knot tiara, the piece of jewelry forever linked to Diana's memory and image. Instead, it was passed on to Duchess Catherine. This decision left many within the palace stunned and questioning. Some wondered whether Camilla voluntarily stepped aside or if this was a decision that Queen Elizabeth had made long before her passing. Those close to the royal family believed that it was the late queen herself who chose Catherine to be the heir to this special tiara. She had a deep emotional connection with Catherine and wanted this precious piece, which was also a symbol of Diana's love and legacy, to be passed on to someone deserving of carrying that spirit forward. This decision was not just about status, but also about emotion and personal connection. There have been reports suggesting that King Charles quietly supported this decision as well. He likely wished that the memory of his late wife would be preserved and honored through the woman who is now the wife of his son. Not only was Catherine given the lover's knot tiara, but she also inherited many other precious pieces from Queen Elizabeth's collection, ranging from elegant brooches and timeless necklaces to accessories connected to Princess Margaret. Meanwhile, Camilla inherited other significant royal pieces, such as the Burmese ruby tiara and some signature jewelry of Queen Mary. The clear difference lies in the emotional value and public significance each piece carries. The jewelry, connected to the most profound emotional histories, symbols of tradition and sentiment, seems to belong to Catherine. It's not just about their rarity or sparkle, but the deep connection. The tiara evokes a connection that only true symbols can create. As one journalist once said, the most important thing is the story behind the gem, and in the royal world, meaning is far more valuable than diamonds. The division of this special treasure not only shifted attention away from Camilla, but also quietly reignited an old feeling of disappointment within her. Camilla had waited many years to become queen, enduring relentless public criticism, and finally secured her position. Yet when the brightest moment arrived, it was Catherine who stepped into the spotlight, with each jewel seemingly shining through her. Camilla may have worn the crown, but Catherine inherited the fairy tale and the public's heart. In a family built on history and imagery, sometimes emotion outweighs ceremony. And the moment Catherine appeared before the public wearing that iconic tiara not only continued Diana's story, but also sent a subtle yet powerful message, a message quietly impossible to ignore. According to royal observers, this sparked a strong reaction within Camilla, stirring the atmosphere in the palace. The tiara, once just a beautiful heirloom, had now become something sharper, a symbol and a challenge. When Catherine wore the tiara, newspapers were immediately flooded with images and headlines, social media exploded, and television programs constantly discussed it. But beneath the sparkle and grace was something much larger. To the public, it was a proud tribute to the tradition and elegance of the royal family. But for Camilla, according to some insiders, it was a deeply personal message, a subtle reminder sent directly to her. What adds to the pain is the way Catherine wears the tiara so naturally, with a strong presence, calm demeanor, and confident posture. Every gesture she makes reminds the public of Princess Diana not as a copy, but as a continuation of her legacy. And that is something Camilla has never truly been able to do. She may wear other jewelry, she may appear at major events, but this particular tiara, the one that holds Diana's spirit, belongs only to Catherine, who carries that quiet pride. This kind of deep connection cannot be borrowed or exchanged. No matter how much jewelry Camilla owns, that emotional tiara may forever remain out of her reach. Its influence spread instantly. Social media was flooded with comparisons between Princess Diana and Catherine. Many began to call Kate the people's princess of the modern era, even dubbing her Queen 2.0. Within hours, the tiara had become a much more powerful symbol than just a piece of jewelry. It became a symbol of the woman the public believes will be the future of the monarchy. That same evening, Camilla appeared wearing a different tiara, but her presence seemed to quietly fade into the shadows while all eyes remained fixed on Catherine. For many, this contrast wasn't a mere coincidence. According to palace insiders, it seemed like a silent confrontation, and it was clear who had captured the world's attention. That's why the moment carried such weight. It wasn't just about a beautiful royal treasure, but about the deep emotions attached to it. In the royal world, how the public perceives you often matters more than any title. By choosing to pass the special tiara to Catherine, it wasn't just a step into a memory, it was a step into the hearts of millions. For Camilla, that gesture stirred old pains, reminding her of something she had long tried to forget. Not all crowns are worn on your head. Some crowns are deeply felt in the hearts of the people, and those are the true crowns that matter. Now, with emotions stirred and the public seemingly choosing sides, the next big question arises. Could this moment have erased or created a lasting rift that even Camilla, with all her royal power, cannot repair? To better understand this, we need to look back at the time before the tiara became the focal point on the headlines, when the tensions between Camilla and Catherine began to quietly form. Their complicated and tumultuous relationship was woven over many years, even when the competition between royal members had never been openly acknowledged. Things became more complicated when Prince William officially introduced Kate Middleton to the inner circle of the palace. From the beginning, Camilla was said to have concerns not about Kate's personality or behavior, but about her background. Kate was not born into royalty or the aristocracy, and she did not come from a prestigious family. In Camilla's eyes, this meant that Kate wasn't fully suited for the world she was about to enter. It's important to remember that Camilla also had a difficult journey to join royal life. She had to fight relentlessly for her place, face harsh public judgment, and spend years proving herself to the royal family. So when Kate appeared and was immediately admired by the public, it's possible that Camilla felt a sense of unfairness. Kate didn't have to work hard to earn that love. It seemed to be given to her almost overnight. What do you think about the quiet rivalry between Catherine and Camilla? Who truly deserves this emotional tiara? Don't forget to like and share the video so everyone can discover this mysterious royal story. And make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching until the end, and we'll see you in the next video.